Hi, welcome to Johnny Works. Today I'm going to teach you how to build a platform or a landing or a deck or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to build this thing, okay? This back wall of my barn over here is going to represent the side of my house, okay? This will be my back of my house. I got a door over there. You just can't see it. You got to use your imagination. I have a door right there. I'm going to step down onto a landing that I'm going to frame, all right? I'm going to lay it out. I'm going to frame it. I'm going to deck it. I'm going to build a set of stair stringers on it. Railing, okay? So, stay tuned. Alrighty, here I am. I'm measuring off the floor across my 4-foot deck, making sure I make the same mark. I think I went 3 feet up. Okay, and then I'm going to use my level to square these lines across. And I did check this with the level, make sure it was level, because you never know with the floor of what you're measuring off, whether it's concrete or wood frame, if it's level. So I made my marks. I marked them out across with my level, but I also checked it for level. And now I'm going to measure for blocking, okay? On my house, on my frame of my house, I will probably have solid blocking right below my door, which usually is called a ribbon. But I didn't have it in my barn, so that's what I was doing right now. I'm cutting blocking so that when I put my deck up, I'll have something to screw into or nail into, okay? If I was doing this on my house, I would be using lag bolts. I would lag into my house, okay? They're a little bit different. You're going to see me nail everything because I have a nail gun. If you don't, they make construction screws that I would recommend getting. They're 2.5 to 3-inch screws that you can use that are really strong. And then anything that I was going to secure to the house permanently, like the deck itself, like the whole entire deck, I would actually add some lags. And I'll put a link in the description of what I would use to secure my deck to my house. That, by the way, is a Hitachi nail gun, and I'm shooting 16D nails, angle nails, okay? Good. So my 4-foot deck, I cut my back piece, which would be my ribbon, I guess, would go against the house, 3 inches short, because I'm putting 1.5 inches wide, 2x10 on each side. Okay, so when I add those on each side from the outside nailing into that piece, I'll have a 48-inch piece. Okay, if you noticed, I dropped my level because I put my level on there. What I could have did was get on the inside, put the level up, hold that 2x4, put the level on, make it level, make the deck level, and then mark it with a pencil. Then take that level off, okay, and then put a nail in it to hold this deck. These things are temporary braces. If I did it that way, I wouldn't have dropped my level, okay, because dropping your level is pretty stupid. You don't want to be dropping your level all the time, because it won't work too great if it gets messed up and it's not working as a good level. So I split the difference on this deck. It was 4 feet, so I came in on the same distance on either end. I came in like 15 inches or 14 inches on each end. And then I made a mark, squared it down my square. I did the same thing on each end, and then I whacked these things in there with my hammer, as you can see. These are my floor joists on my deck. All right, I'm going to knock these things in place. I'm going to put 5 nails on each end. I'm going to recheck them from both ends, making sure that I came the same distance. Make sure you're on the same side of the line so that when you do put your decking on and you start screwing a nail, and you're not going to miss this thing. You always want to make sure that your layout's the same on the back side and the front side, because it does happen. Sometimes you miss. And tap these bad boys in, make sure they're nice and secure, and then eventually you're going to put some hangers on this thing. Alright, anytime you build a deck, before you start anything after you get your platform built, okay, you want to square it up. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to do it with your tape. I want to make sure that if I hook my tape on this corner, okay, I'm going to hook on that corner, that outside corner. I'm going to come down to the corner of my deck. I'm going to check my measurement. Okay, I have 67 7/8. All right, if I want to square it up, I'm going to do the opposite on this side, corner to corner, making sure I hook on the same exact spot. Okay, outside corner to this outside corner in the same location. 67 3/4. Okay, pretty close. All right, I can give this a little tweak, and I'm pretty much right on. Okay, we always go cross, cross. That's going to square this thing up. If I need to, if I'm worried about it moving, if it's a longer deck, this is pretty small, it doesn't move much. If it's a longer deck, you take a long 2x or something. What I would do, I'd put a nail in the corner. I'd have my partner over there hold my tape. If I didn't have a partner, I'd have to do it myself. But I would nail that back corner into the back side of the frame, and then I would pull this thing. As I'm pulling it, checking my number, going the other way, checking that number, and when I get to where I want it, I can hold it with my foot, yell for my kids, yell for my wife, yell for Jesus, I don't know, yell for somebody. Or just give it a little pull, and when I get it where I want it, boom. Screw this thing in, and then this cross brace will hold it right where I want it, okay? Till I start putting decking on. Once you put decking on, that thing's gonna get locked in from your nails or your screws, and it's not gonna move anymore. Okay, so this would be just to get going. Alright, these are Simpson joist hangers, 2x10 joist hangers. I recommend putting your frame in and nailing it first, and then putting these on. There's two little tabs that you hit with your hammer that stab that thing in like two little knives. It holds that thing in place, and then you can add the nails. Add a nail in every single hole, and do your frame first and put these on after. That way if you misjudge your height and then try to put your frame in, you don't have to bang the wood down or take the hanger off and then make it flush again, because that's a pain in the butt. Alright, so I'm leveling up my post. This is my pressure treated post. I actually had pressure treated, so I was using it. I'm leveling this thing up as best I can, and I'm only tacking it in place. And then I'm going to grab some wedges and make sure this thing's nice and level both directions. Alright, this is just a variation. If you're sitting on concrete or the ground, you could put that PT post on the ground, or you could buy one of these bases. Those are like $7 a piece. And you can use those too. Either option, okay, just to show you what they have. Alright, here I am cutting wedges. Be careful. See, I got my glasses on. I'm cutting little angled wedges, okay, with my skill saw. Or my circular saw, I should call it. And I'm going to take these bad boys and I'm going to use these around my post. I'm going to make sure my post is level, and then I'm going to tap these things in, okay? Once I get it leveled towards the front and the side, so two different directions, this thing looks pretty good. I'm going to tap my wedges in to hold it, and I will recheck it probably multiple times. And then I will nail this thing hard, okay, on both sides, on the other hard. Then grab my utility knife, and I'll score these things and snap them off so they're not sticking up when I go to put my decking on. Yeah, see? There's my knife. And watch your fingers, because cut your fingers off with that thing. Okay, the front of my deck, my stairs are going to come down. I'm going to step off my deck down to a stair instead of walking out flat. So I had to add on some blocking, which is pretty common. So one very important thing before you cut any stringers or any floor joists or anything like that, even walls technically, you're going to do something called crown. Okay, you want to crown your studs if you're building a wall. If you're building stairs and you're doing stringers, you definitely want to crown your stringers. Okay, so you're going to take this thing on end, you're going to hold it, you're going to look down this thing. Okay, you're going to pick on the edge of the board on either side, and what you're looking for is a bow. Okay, whatever direction that bow is, say the high part of the bow is on this side, so this thing's kind of riding up and coming back in, because they all have a little bit of a bow, almost always. You want that to always be the top, okay? If it's floor joists or stair strings. You don't want that on the bottom. Say this bottom is actually bowed this way, and I flip it over and I cut this thing and I use the bowed part on the bottom, or the crown. That can make this thing weaker, all right? And you want to line up your boards all on the same edge and cut the stringers all the same way. Okay, but your very first stringer you cut, walk over, put that thing up to your deck, make sure it looks straight, put a level on it, make sure everything's happy, make sure your steps and your rise and your run are correct, and then cut the rest. Cut one, always cut one. You can cut it out of plywood, a lot of guys do that, but I had scrap, so I used the actual material that I was using. Also, this is an exterior deck. This would all be PT. I'm just using what I got left over. You can tell this is a crappy board, all right? All right, so I just took that level. I ended up with 36 1/4 when I put it on top of my decking that's gonna be on this deck, okay? That's gonna be my actual height right there. So I put my level out here. I just double checked about approximately how far I was gonna be out. I think I'm gonna be out about 3 or 4 feet, at least 3 feet. So I guesstimated, I measured up, I held my level nice, 36 1/4, okay? That's my rise, all right? So now, a comfortable step, or a comfortable rise, I should say, 7, 7.5, 7 1/4, somewhere in there. I think my code in Massachusetts is maximum 8 inches. I don't think you can go higher than an 8-inch step, okay? It's too much. People don't fall down your stairs, break their legs and sue you. All right, so if you don't have one of these bad boys, I think you should get one. If your math skills are as good as mine, you might want one of these, okay? If not, you could use your phone. There's all kinds of apps now. You don't even have to buy stuff like this because of apps, because those smart, crazy tech kids out in San Francisco, wherever they are, they come up with all this great stuff on your phone. So a lot of this crap you don't even need. But I like this. So what I'm gonna do is divide 36¼ by 7. And that's gonna tell me how many. So it looks like about five steps. So now I'm gonna teach you how to cut these bad boys out of 2x12. Always cut stair stringers out of 2x12, minimum. Okay, when you make that angle cut, you need so much room left over, or so much meat left over in that 2x. If you use anything smaller than a 2x12, when you notch that wood out, the smaller piece of wood you have left, it's bad. That stuff will break, especially if you have some big dudes in your house, like my father-in-law, he's a big guy. Alright, so I tried to give as much information as I could as fast as possible, but I ran out of time. So please visit me for part 2 of how to build a deck with stair stringers. Coming soon. Please enjoy and leave comments if this helps you. Like and subscribe, Johnny Works.